Hello, everybody. So excited to be here today with my good friend, Karolina Dehnhard. I think you're all going to be inspired by her background and tell a little bit about how we are going to, how we met. I'm adding her right now. I know she's trying to join, so give us a few minutes so we can chat with you together. I just accepted her request to join. Instagram as always. Where are you, Karolina?
Hey.
Here we are.
I
Hi.
am well,
How
thank
are
you.
you, beautiful
I
friend?
can't figure out my light stand, so I'm gonna have to stand for this because of course, we have life happening at the law firm at the moment, and I'm just trying to be on time and be present. So thank you for having me.
Yes. Yes. You're welcome. We will keep this brief, but thank you to all of our guests who are joining live and for those that will catch this replay. So really quick, Karolina and I met through a good friend of ours, Rachel Nevsky. She had posted about this amazing entrepreneurial business networking event, and I love to network with other people. So I had gone, and that is how Karolina and I crossed paths, and I was so inspired by being at your event. And I would love for you to just start by telling everybody who you are, where you came from, and what you are doing right now.
Thank you so much. So I always like to say to the audience, witam wszystkich, jestem z Polski, mówię po polsku. So I am from Poland. English is my second language. I came to this country as a little girl with my mom in search of the American dream, her own divorce. And my God, the American dream did I live, right? I was educated in this country, watched my mother, a entrepreneur, create a beautiful life for our family. I married an up-and-coming politician who is now the Senate president, lawyer. My God, life was great. Well, unfortunately, divorce happened. And when I lost that fairy tale shoe, the glass slipper, I had two choices, either to reinvent myself or to crumble in a corner and fall apart, as so many unfortunately do. Well, I didn't. I went to law school, graduated my class in 2.5 years and became a matrimonial attorney, building my career, becoming a partner in one of the most affluent law firms in Short Hills, New Jersey. So fairy tale rewritten, right? But there was a problem. As I started practicing matrimonial law, I saw so many people coming into my office, really looking at myself all over again, mascara running, women going to be thrown out of my house? Am I going to lose my kids? Do I lose my health insurance? What do I do? I have no access to information. And at that point in time, I was already working with some of the best professionals across all sectors. And I see Stacey Rudbar joined the show right now, and she's a financial planner. So I looked at my team and I said, I'm to you, you're referring work to me. We're trying to work with these individuals to help them get through the hurdle. Shouldn't we be branded as a powerhouse new black book for these women? So we created the Divorce Dynasty platform. It was launched on the rooftop of the Sojo Spa in Edgewater, overlooking the city, that American dream. What is more symbolic, right? So it's 10 women dressed in red, standing together, the typical players, the lawyer, the doctor, the financial planner, the accountant, the mortgage person. And really, this has so grown over the last 4 years that we now have people on the platform that are anybody from the dog walker to the wedding planner, since people do it again, and everybody in between. Why? Because women lose themselves in relationships, and oftentimes, while they wear 17 hats in a marriage, when the shoe drops, they don't know where to turn, and they don't trust the people that have been in their lives through that point. Certainly not anybody that the husband recommends. So we create a new powerhouse of professionals through the Divorce Dynasty platform to plug and play where these women need the most support.
Yes, and I love that. And since I've met you, I've talked to so many other women who have unfortunately gone through divorces and they didn't know where to turn. So having that, it's like one-stop shopping is amazing, where all the resources are in one place. And I love that. And tell us a little bit about those 4 Ps that I love hearing that you always talk about, that is really the meaning behind Divorce Dynasty.
To prosper. First of all, the preparation piece is the largest piece of anything that we do. Anything that I do as a matrimonial attorney, anything that I do as the founder of Divorce Dynasty. I find that it's the lack of education that really makes divorces horrific, or any really situation in life. Let's say your spouse dies, you have a great marriage, you kiss him goodbye, he gets on the train, you get plane, he goes to a business meeting, never comes back. If you're not prepared with identification of your assets, passwords, if you don't know anything about anything, then you're starting from a position of weakness because you don't know what's happening, right? So preparation, know the law, know your rights, know your assets, know your liabilities, so you at least come to the table as an educated consumer, right? Prepare. You need to protect yourself. If you have children with special needs, if you have assets across the country, if you have a husband that's self-employed or self-employed, how does it come into play in protecting your assets in a divorce? If you have an inheritance you received, did you commingle it? How are we protecting that? So critical. Most critical, most recently on preparation, is women that still think there's common law marriage in New Jersey. That if I'm with a guy for 10 years, after 10 years, I'm his wife on paper. No. Also, women think that there's something called palimony still without a contract. If I'm supported by a wealthier man, I live with him. If he doesn't, I get money. No, right? So it's the preparation piece. Partnering with the right people, getting the right person for your budget and for your need for you to work with. So Stacy is the financial planner for some, while somebody is the financial planner for others. It's not a one meal ticket, right? So partnering with the right people is what we do. And then the prospering is really the most wonderful Divorce Dynasty. It's about the transformation. Your life as Mr. or Miss so-and-so ended. You're now going to be a new person. How do we help you deal with that psychological loss and that transition? But most importantly, how do we help you now regain your glow, regain your confidence? How do you come back to life?
Right. I love that. And you know what, too? I think that's where you and I have a lot of commonality, because our businesses really help lift women up again, give them that confidence to continue going and knowing that they are enough. And, you know, being a brand ambassador at Rodana Fields was funny. When I met you, I didn't realize you even were familiar with the brand, that you use the product. So we connected that way. You're glowing. I love that. And that's what we do. So we help other women too get back on their feet. You know what? It gives them confidence. Let's say they do go through a divorce and they're left with, they don't know where to begin. Our community just wraps our arms around everybody that becomes a consultant with us, which is one of the things I love the most, our community. And I have helped so many people to get back on their feet. And I think that's where we help each other. So no offense, I'm very happily married. I hope I never need your services there, but I would love to refer anybody to you. But yes, I think we have 4 Ps also. You know, the people, our products, and our passion to help others. And also we have a lot of purpose too. We have a wonderful help nonprofit foundations where it helps empower our youth. And I would love for you to just touch really quick on what you're doing for those children in Ukraine, if you have a few minutes.
Sorry, but let me just go back to the point you're making about women and kind of re-entering the workforce, finding their purpose, right? So the alimony statute changed in 2014, which basically now says that everybody has an obligation to support themselves post-divorce. No one is entitled to the marital lifestyle over the other person. So courts really look at women as, you know, 50 is the new 40, 40 is the new 30, 70 is the new 60. You got to go to work, right? Unless you're deemed disabled, you're going to have to go to work. So how overwhelming is that for certain women that have been at home for 10, 20, 15 years? 6, 8 years, right? Once you're out of the workforce, it's very difficult to jump back in, especially if you're after a certain age. So I love the idea of Rodan Fields and what you offer for women to kind of start getting in there, feel good, start making money, and have a plan. Because the best thing that we could present to judges or mediators or settle our cases is that someone does have a plan. Courts are going to impute income to women. Why not take control over that imputation and really present how you're going to build your business? And this gives you the flexibility of working from home, potentially still raising your children. You know, the one thing that I see is women saying, well, I'll go get a minimum paying job, minimum wage, but daycare costs more than what I'm going to earn. So while I understand I have to go back to work, every penny I'm going to make now. So there's so many things to consider when Rodan offers such a wonderful opportunity for women to start investing in themselves. So thank you for that, and thank you for sharing that. With regard to the orphans, so everybody knows, unless you're under a rock, there's a war going on in Ukraine. When the war broke out last February, I started receiving calls from, you know, really Eastern Europe and in America saying, Karolina, these kids are walking kilometers across fields. Some of them, you know, we're being told that orphanages are being evacuated. Why can't we adopt them? Well, so quickly, I started leading the mission on that issue. We identified that President Zelensky suspended all adoptions, so the kids are not eligible for adoption. I traveled to Poland at least 4 times in the year to meet the children, the orphanage care. And I could report that we are very close to, at a minimum, getting 300 children that were already paired with American families out of the orphanages and onto American soil. The rest of the kids, there's thousands of them, we're working diligently with our senators, with our Congress, with Europe, specifically Ukraine and Poland. Beautiful children could also have the American dream that I had and be, homed with so many of our families here who either can't have children, waited too long, life happened, whatever it may be, and just to really provide the love that they need.
That's great. And I want you to say, how can people help you and how can they reach out to you, find you, and maybe when is your next networking event?
So Divorce Dynasty has a couple things going on, right? So we have networking events for professionals almost every 8 weeks now. And this is an opportunity for individuals that are self-employed, feel that they could help somebody going through transition. Really, because think about it, divorce touches almost every aspect of everything, right? So we're going to have our next event, believe it or not, in a funeral home in Summit, because there's a lot of conversation around, who's going to bury you? Are you going to be buried in the family plot? What if that's part of the dissolution? So we need to talk about really anything and everything, right? So there'll be an announcement going out inviting people to come to that. But I welcome really anybody that has a product or business that's in the market to help individuals dealing with death, divorce, or disability. As far as reaching me, I like to say that I'm very Google. If you Google me, you'll find me. I advertise with my cell phone, so you're always getting me. You're not my assistant or some to answer the call. I am a partner at Lindaberry. I'm in Westfield, Summit, the city, and Red Bank, but our firm works globally, so really anyone should be able to contact me. If I'm not the person for you, I will connect you. But as far as the orphans, anyone whose heartstrings are being pulled out about the orphan issue, if you'd like to join a fundraising campaign, donate something, come with us on our next mission. I'm going to Poland July 7th on our next mission to help the orphans. Anybody, there's a place for everyone to help these kids.
That's wonderful. And thank you so much, Loma. I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're a busy attorney right now, so I appreciate you doing this for our network. So anybody, if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to Karolina. You can connect with her here. Like she says, Google her name. A lot of podcasts come up too. You've done a lot of videos, which is great. And it's so inspiring listening to you speak. And I encourage all of you to go to her next event.
I'd like to just say to everybody that anyone who contacts me and mentions Divorce Dynasty, I am committed to offering a free consultation, and you will get the consultation with me. And then, if it's a fit, it's a fit. If it's not, I will certainly pass you along. There's no one that I don't help. So if the firm is not a good fit, there is somebody else out there, but certainly mention Divorce Dynasty, and where most lawyers really don't offer complimentary consultations anymore, I do, whether it's by Zoom, in person, or telephonically. I truly believe that this is my life's calling, and I am here to help and offer assistance. And most importantly, Kim, is to educate. Because if you're not educated and you start a divorce or whatever process it may be, then you're paying the lawyer to bring you up to speed. And it shouldn't be that way. You should be educated before making that decision.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And I really look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for your time. And everyone have a wonderful day. You're welcome.